Most people don't know that there is a ton of inspections that you can do on a house without being there that will cost you $0. We've already talked about inspections that you can purchase, like sewer, air. There's a ton of inspections you can pay to have done by a professional. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for the house that you are buying, and you need to make sure that it's right for you. Here's a couple of things how you can do it. You can go to the neighborhoodscout.com, put in the city and see what the crime rates are like, the school rates are like, the traffic is like. You can do a Google walking tour. So you can Google the address and then you can put the little person and see what does it look like down the street? What does it look like up the street? You could drive the streets of that area to see what it looks like. What does the houses around look like? Your agent can also do video of this, but doing that research yourself is a great way to start. Another thing you can do in inspections is Google the address. It sounds ridiculous, but Google 123 Main Street. I have sold homes that have murders have happened in it. Do you care? I don't know. But when you Google the address, past the Zillow link and the realtor.com link of the house, you can look more into it. You can look at the tax records. You can look to who owns it. Is it a sheriff's sale? Did it get foreclosed on? Is it anything that you need to know? But it also will pull up any obituaries. Did someone die there? Was there any crimes committed there? It's good to be aware before the neighbors tell you. Another thing you should Google is the seller's name. In that contract, when you sign it, you will see this house is between the parties of X and Y. So the sellers and buyers. Google the seller's name for me, please. The agents cannot really tell you a whole lot. We don't know everyone here, but you can look into it. I have had people buy a house that was a sheriff's sale, and it turns out that mom and dad both died in the house, and it's been vacant for 7 years. Vacant for 7 years can mean lots of bugs. It could mean a lot of things that are deteriorating because no one was living there. I've also had it where we Googled the address after closing, and it was a nightmare. We literally purchased a house, my clients did, purchased a house of the county criminal, literally. Like it was 20 acres with a house. The house was like half done, so the downstairs was completely done. It wasn't great work, but it was decent. And the upstairs was at drywall, so you could finish it however you wanted. And on the 20 acres was probably 30 cars. My client said, I want it sight unseen, as is, no inspections. Don't ever do that. Don't ever buy sight unseen with no inspection. Always, always get inspections. But this was a time in the market where you did whatever you could to just get the house. We go through this incredibly long process. And when we show up near the closing or right after closing, there was no cars on the property, like none. And the seller was very proud of himself. Like, look, I cleaned up the property. There had been a search warrant filed, and the sheriff came through and cleared a lot of those cars. Whoops. Also, that same house, there was a squatter living there that was taking what he wanted from the house after closing, because we thought we closed and they didn't move in for another week or so. So they were just staying there all willy-nilly. And we had to have sheriffs involved to take them out. So we definitely want to check in on houses, do that final walkthrough before closing to verify no one's living in the house. So all that to say, Google the seller's name, Google the seller's address, because you will find some dirt, and only you can decide if that dirt is worth it or not. Apparently everyone knew that this particular situation was a rough situation, and because it was out-of-state buyers, they didn't know the county. But this man was in prison until we closed on the house, and then he got to get out. There was some issues after, and it all could have been avoided had we Googled the address and the name beforehand. Let that be a lesson to you. Google the seller's name, Google the seller's address, do a Google walk around the neighborhood, see what is close by. You can look above and kind of see what it's close to. Google the crime rates of the area at neighborhoodscout.com. There's a ton of things that you can do that don't cost you a single thing. to ensure that that house that you are buying is what you want and what you expect. I'll see you in the next lesson.